Hi, this is Dave Squires coming at you from the iCafe studio. We're back here again with Office 365 and the features of SkyDrive Pro. Now, we've shown you a number of videos about how to upload files into it, how to manipulate them, add new files, all sorts of things. But what's really important with SkyDrive Pro is the ability to share files with your colleagues here in LCISD. You can share individual files, you can share folders, a whole number of things. And SkyDrive Pro makes it very easy. So to do that, as always, log into Office 365 and click on your SkyDrive tab at the top. Now when you do that, you see the list of files like you see here. I'm going to share this file here about moving notebooks from SkyDrive Consumer to SkyDrive Pro. So to do that, you see here a little lock symbol underneath the sharing column. This means that I am the only one who can see this file currently. I don't want to do that. I want to share it with some of my teammates. So when I click on the lock, a dialog box opens, and I have the link here for invite people. Now this email everyone is not something you really want to use, so you can just ignore that for now. Choose invite people. Now you get a new dialog box. It tells you the current shared status and it gives you a box for inviting people. So I'm going to add my teammate Katie, and there's her name here. It pops up in the list, and I'm going to add my teammate Jennifer. Now you can add as many people as you like. Now, of course, it may be a little temperamental because you put 2 spaces instead of 1. I'm going to choose the right one. Notice how here, with the same person, it gives you their title. So Jennifer Mitchell is a teacher, but a different Jennifer Mitchell is my teammate. So choose the right person. It comes into play because of this drop-down box right here. This gives you the ability to set permissions for whomever you're sharing this with. You have 2 options. You can edit, give them edit permissions, so they'll be able to open your document, make changes, and save them. Or I can give them view only permissions. In this case, I just want them to look at it. So I'm going to choose they can view it. And then I'm going to click share. Now it's going to generate an email automatically for whomever you put in this share box. And it's going to show up and say, hey, David Squires has shared this file with you. And that's how they're going to get a notification. We'll come back to that in a little bit. But here I've selected that I'm going to give them view rights, and all I have to do is click share. Now they're going to get that email and they're going to have access to this file. Now you can see on my list here for this file that my icon has changed from a lock to a couple of people. It says that it's shared with some people when I hover over it. So now maybe Jen needs edit rights to this file now instead of just view rights. So I can change that by clicking on those little people. You can see here that the people I've shared it with show up, and I can change their access rights. So I can give them edit permissions, or I can stop sharing altogether. To do that, make your selection and choose Save Changes. So now Jennifer has edit rights and Katie still maintains her view rights. Now when you go to share it and you put in those email addresses or those names, it will pull in group lists from your Outlook contacts. I suggest you don't do that, because if you do, you can't change permissions by the individual. That's going to make life more difficult down the road. So always put in individual names. A tip for doing that if you're sending out to a large group is open up Outlook, type in your group name, and get all of those email addresses individually, and just copy paste. That's the easiest way to do it. Now, when someone shares the file with you, the question is, where do you see it? Because now they've shared it with you instead of the other way around. In Office 365 and SkyDrive, on the left margin down here at the bottom, is a link that says Shared with Me. When you click on that, you see a list of all the files that other people have shared with you. And if you click on the little ellipse here, it gives you a preview of what that document is and who changed it last. Now, if you try to share somebody else's document, it's going to give you an error message. It's going to pop up and say, yeah, okay, you're going to try and share it, but you're going to see a little dialog box in the corner saying, not so much. You can only share the files that you have personally created. You must be the owner of a file. Now, if I try to share Katie's file like I just did, she's going to get an email saying, hey, David Squires is trying to give so-and-so access to this file. Do you want to do that? And she gets to make the call on whether or not that happens. Now, that's all you have to do for sharing files. Just go into your SkyDrive, click that little share button, and you're good to go. Thanks for tuning in. Please be sure to check out all of the other training videos we have here for you on the iCafe website.